The first ever picture I did in oil pastels was with the Cray Pas Expressionist oil pastels. I had the set of 50, I'd found out all about oil pastels, and I just thought I'd have a go. Now, it's fair to say that the first picture I ever did, which I will show you, was not very good. Now, when I say not very good, I mean in comparison to all the other artwork I'd been doing with pastels and soft pastels, pastel pencils, graphite, all that sort of stuff. This was just, it couldn't even touch them. So I kind of got a bit of a downer on not oil pastels but Cray Pas Expressionist straight away, because I didn't really know what I was doing. But today, for the first time since that picture, I'm going to get my Cray Pas Expressionist oil pastels out, and we're going to have a look, and we're going to see if they really are as bad as what I thought they were the very first time I used them, and only time. The first time I ever used oil pastels was this Expressionist pastel, and the very next picture I went onto a Mungyo oil pastel, and I did a relatively good picture, which again put me against the Expressionist pastels, because I didn't think I would get that with them. However, I'm probably being a little bit unfair there, so I'm going to have a look at the Expressionist oil pastels today, and we're going to see if they're really as bad as what I thought they were. So let's have a look at what we've got. So even though I didn't like them, I still have several boxes, to be fair. Now I have this 25 box. I do know that they do a portrait set, which would be very interesting if I'm being honest. I think there's 12 in that set. I'm not sure if there's 12 of these in a set, but I've got the 25. I also have a 36. See if they do any. No, they don't show you any colours on the back, but I will show you the larger set. I'm going to assume that they do a 12, and then the 25, then that 36, and then I go on to the first set I ever used, which is this 50 set. Now, another thing that kind of threw me when I used this 50 set was the fact that they have these blending sticks in them. I've said before, blending sticks to me seem like a bit of a waste of time, if I'm being perfectly honest. However, having said that, I'm looking into something at the moment. I am quite innovative with oil pastels, and I'm looking into another technique with oil pastels in which these blending sticks could actually play a part. I'm not going to say a prominent part, but they could play a different part. But anyway, I've got this 50 set, and it says 2 extenders, 48 colours, extra fine quality oil pastels. Well, we'll see. And that's really all it says on the packet. Okay, so let's have a look at the colours, shall we? They're all going to be muddled up because ever since that first day that I used them, they've just been sitting in this box. So you can see there's actually not a bad colour range. You know, you've got purples, pinks, greens. Not bad selection of yellows, if I'm being perfectly honest, because yellows are not really an overly prominent colour in oil pastels. They've even got a gold and a silver here. Not that I really like to see them in sets. I would personally like to see gold, silvers and bronze and fluorescent colours all sold in separate packets, so that you got a good range of colours. Because if you're a fine artist, like what I would like to think I am, then these gold and silvers, really, they're a waste of time, and so are the fluorescent colours, and so are the blending sticks. They're just a standard size. They look good. They do look good. They feel good in the hand. So what you want to know really is, how do they blend? So I'm going to do a blending test As I've said in previous videos, when you're doing a picture, this will be different than just me doing a blending test on the page. But we'll do a blending test. So I'm going to get this colour here, this orange, and I'm laying it on here. And it's a relatively hardish pastel. Having said that, it's going on quite nice. Not a bad texture at all. This one as well. They feel somewhat waxy, I would say, but in a good way. So they're going on there. Let's find another colour. Let's go for this pink. That's an odd combination, but it's just to show the contrast. So with the stick, looks like it's blending quite nice. They don't feel unlike the Art Echos. The Art Echos probably have got the upper hand on them slightly, I would say, at this point, because they don't feel quite as waxy as these do. So I'm going to go from my light colour and blend it down. Yeah, it's blending okay. Again, this is quite a relatively cool day in my studio, so the softer they would be on a slightly warmer day, so keep and bear that into mind. So they're not blending too bad, in all honesty. And now I've found so many techniques that are actually unique to me, some of them, which I do have to bring you in future videos, but it's a slow process. And now I know more, I'm thinking that maybe I could do a better picture with these. Not even sure if I used a cotton bud in the first picture. So I've blended them down. As you can see, they've blended quite nice. Let's see about the pilling. Not a lot of pilling going on at all, if I'm being honest. I'm actually quite surprised. I didn't expect this. That's actually blended out really nice. Not that I would ever use my fingers too much, but that's blended out really nice. So let's see how the white goes over. Not that I would ever do this too much. So it's not bad. Not bad if you have thin layers. Let's see how they layer up. Let's lay more layers on that. That's going over the top of tree. I can actually do my scratching out on that quite easily, I would say. Let's have a test. Yeah, that's coming out of tree. Yeah, I'm actually quite impressed. Let's see if we can layer another colour. Let's go for this green. Even that's going over the top quite nice. I wouldn't say I'm gobsmacked. I'm surprised, given my mind's eye from what I did before. We'll do the scratching out again. There we go. So, what can I say about these? Apart from, I'm very surprised. They have stunned me, and I think I'm going to do another picture with these at some point, just to prove that it was just my lack of knowledge and my lack of experience with oil pastels that led me to think these were bad. And that is a very important lesson, if I'm being honest, because a lot of people will be using oil pastels for the first time, not really knowing what they're doing, just like I didn't, and they'll use them, and because they are such a different medium to other mediums, they will be thinking that they can't use them, when in fact it's probably just their lack of skill and knowledge that is holding them back at that point. Now, as I say, I've learnt lots of unique techniques which I will bring to you in future course, and I've learnt how to blend properly. I've done all sorts of things, and hopefully I've reached a really good standard in oil pastels now. And that is now going to help me to use these pastels. Score-wise, what shall I give them score-wise? I would personally, if I'd been marking it back when I did my first picture, probably have given them a 2. But that's lack of skill. Now, looking at what I've just done on there, and in comparison to everything else I've done, I'd probably be looking at initially a 7 to 8, possibly slightly more. But I can't tell you more until I've done an actual picture with them again. So I need to... My thoughts are, if you're starting out, the Expressionist are going to be quite a good pastel for you to go for. Cost-wise, they're not mega expensive. They're not the cheapest, and you can get better ones that are slightly cheaper, but they are anomalies. I'd certainly go for this 50 set. I don't think they're anything more than 15 or 20 pounds off the top of my head. I wouldn't worry too much about the blending sticks, and I would just have fun with them. Well, there you go. I do like to be honest, fully honest if I can, and I've got to tell you that they were terrible way back. But that was my first picture with oil pastels. Having done that just now, I'm really looking forward to using them again now. I had a guy that I sold some to in my art group once, and he said, oh, these are terrible. But again, he used them for the first time, and I don't think he really did any worse than what he's done anyway. So it's all a case of experimenting, getting used to something, and in this case, going back to it. You must go back to something to see if you've improved and if you've got better with time, or if your thoughts have changed on the actual item in time. That's very important. So that's a very quick, well, it's a guide, but it's also a review on the back of my first picture, but probably not the fairest of reviews. I'd say not bad. Not bad at all. I would not put anybody off buying them, let's put it that way. So that said, I'm quite lost for words, and I'm very happy to report that. So until next time, whomever you are, wherever you are, please have a great day, a great week and a great year, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.